Greetings and aloha, ladies and gentlemen. What goes on? It is Mike's from LiveMyAssOff.com, along with my very, very good friend on the other side of the world,
Robbie from Walking in My Shoes. There we go, Thailand. Good evening. I almost said good morning, but yeah, good morning, Bangkok, right?
Good morning, Bangkok. Good afternoon and good evening, California. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I mean, it was a good first day back, long day. Hey, Christy, I noticed she's on, and speaking of the devil.
Speaking of skadoosh right here, let's just get one of these in right for the Big C package. How you doing there, Dollface?
She really carried the show today in welcoming me back into the office and having to work with her a little bit, and that was great. So, yeah, thank you, Christy, very much. I know you're watching. Much appreciated. $5 coming your way into my pockets.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get you $5 of love. We'll just kind of take that right in there.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We usually say that's for a smoothie, but $5 for a smoothie in Thailand. In here, it's like 10.
I was going to say, I said you're probably about $10, $15 for a smoothie over there in CA.
Exactly.
Plus tax, of course. Plus tax.
So if you guys want to donate 10 today, that is okay. Is that a shameless plug?
Twist my arm. Absolutely. Brent, good to see you. Thank you, folks, for coming by. I did want to acknowledge Big Guys 45s. Absolutely. You are first, definitely on one of the channels. And thank you for coming by. Christy saying hello to Kitty. Hello, Kitty, from, let's see, where am I? She is 7 floors below. Hello, Kitty. Thank you for...
That's it.
Thank you for... Oh, wow. Wait, did you see this? How you doing there, super sticker? Christy, we have got to just slap the crap out of that young lady. Boom.
Half a smoothie. Boom. Half a smoothie. You know what? I think it's almost enough for a Starbucks coffee.
Yeah. Wow. Well, actually, in either country, right? Because freaking Starbucks
It's the
over
same
here.
price.
Because when we were broadcasting live from Starbucks, right, you would go up and I would be like putting all the cables together. You come back down and you got 2 coffees and 2 donuts. And how much was that? Like 600 baht.
It was 600 baht, actually. And you know what? I get asked that often are the prices so much less or is it the same? And honestly, in something like Starbucks, it is kind of more at times. So, I mean, I don't want people to be shocked going, wow, it's so much cheaper to be in Thailand. Well, it's cheaper to be in Thailand, but it also could be more money. When it comes to Starbucks, it's pretty much the same price.
It's cheaper to live in Thailand, provided you don't live in Thailand the way you live in Pismo Beach, California.
And that is a valid point because... you know, I live a better life in Thailand than I ever could expect to live here in the States. And I live in Pismo Beach.
And it's,
I take that back. I live part-time Pismo Beach.
I was going to say.
I live in Bangkok.
You vacation in Pismo Beach.
I do. I'm on vacation right now, people.
Baby. Yeah. Live life on vacation. Absolutely.
Joe, thanks
Brian
for coming on by.
Thai brother. All right.
There it is. That's right. Brian, he's in the house. He's going to be coming back. So I'm meeting with Brian. I am hoping to meet.
Is he going to follow through?
He's going to follow through, man. Well, I did tell him that, you know, the Russian girls are in town. And
that's right. Let me go to Thailand and meet Russian girls. Or you could not.
No, he's coming, man. So what's interesting is I'm probably going to meet with him later on tonight after we air. And after we have our short little powwow, I'll meet with Brian later on.
Cool, man.
So... yeah, good to have you tune in, buddy.
Totally. Joe, great to see you, man. Thank you so much. I'm psyched for Joe to come over here because Joe's going to actually educate me on what does he do? Does he do shorts? I can't remember. I mean, not YouTube shorts, but like shorting as far as stock goes. He's massively skilled at that. He's been like sharing some of his charts on Facebook. I said, I like green and red. I mean, I think I like green better than red. I don't know. I guess it depends. But
yeah, I actually saw that he did one recently. It was cool. So thanks a lot to Joe. I appreciate it because I used to do that quite a bit. I don't so much anymore because I'm really ignorant. I'll just say
me too, dude. And I'm like the last thing I need to do. Yeah. I mean, I'm bad enough at picking stocks, you know, that buy high, sell low, right? I mean, that seems to be my default setting here for the last couple of years.
And I'm the guy who sold Apple stock in 2012 when it crashed in April. If Joe's a true shorter, he'll remember 2012 April where the stock just took a huge dump and I sold and. Not a good situation.
No, you always, that was the time to buy, right? It was, same with me. I mean, Alibaba stock, I mean, shoot, dude, that a couple months ago, that was totally the way to go. And
so is that something you can do here in Thailand is short? You can still do that, right? Just fine, or?
Yeah, I mean, again, you have the internet, right? But remember, you and I were talking, so I have like new internet here, but in our building, they're ripping out all the copper and they're putting in fiber optic in. So every now and then this new internet goes down. So hopefully, but the good news is that you've got decent connection there in Pismo Beach, so you'll be able to keep the people entertained. Coming back as soon as possible. Good, Brian. That'll be awesome, man. When is he come? So like in the next 2 months, like when you're coming back, your next trip?
Well, I come back March 27th
right.
with different objectives, but one of them is the same as his, which is Songkran. And Brian, okay. So let me talk about Brian for a little bit. So Brian came with me in 2019 during my very first trip.
Right.
And so I'm going to give this little story, and a lot of you guys who are listening right now might be able to relate to it or do the same thing. So basically, I was encouraged by a friend of mine, Tony Spencer, which hopefully is listening right now, but if he is, great. But if not, he said, Robbie, I know what you're going through. You need to come to Thailand. Now, keep in mind, I'm just now going through a divorce. I'm like,
got it.
Man, I mean, I'm 48 years old or 47. What am I going to do? And then he pinged me and said, I'm booking my trip. I'm here right now in April for Songkran. He's showing me pictures of him hanging out with this super hot chick in Thailand to where I would consider her a 10, but really she's an 8, in real life. I mean, she's a 10 for me.
Right,
but an 8 for
Which
Thai.
means she's a 6 in Thailand, yeah.
Yeah, she's still super attractive. He goes, I'll book. And I said, you know what? I'll book if you do. He goes, done. I'm like, okay. A week later, we're in April, at the end of April now. I booked my ticket. I said, hey, man, I booked my ticket. Did you book yours? I did it. I finally did it. He goes, oh, yeah, I'll book when it comes closer. Prices are better then. I'm like, okay, because it's for November.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Right? So I'm booking 6 months in advance. I'm doing what I think is best. And November comes around, or late October. The dude still hasn't booked. I'm like, oh, man. And he goes, yeah, I can't go. We're talking November 3rd now, and my trip is set for, the end of Thanksgiving Day, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm hanging out with my friend Brian, and a very good friend. We're having lunch at a Mexican restaurant, and we're just talking about life. He's going through his stuff.
Life.
And he goes, oh, I would go to Thailand. I'm like, okay, dude, whatever, but here's my flight info.
Yeah,
and I'm not believing it. I don't believe him. The next day, he's like, yep, I booked. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I know the guy, but I wasn't like best friends with the guy. But I knew him. I worked with him. We were good buddies. We hung out. We had lunch. And sure enough, the guy booked, and we experienced Thailand together for our first time. And dude knows how to party. Let me tell you, he knows how to get to Thailand. He knows how to do it. And he really encouraged me through my original plan and we're good friends now. We're even better friends now. And, but the point is going with somebody, it does help, having commitment from another person.
You think? It's interesting.
I know, because it happened to me.
You, yeah. So what's it? Because, but now I'm an only child. I know you're not an only child, but I also know that like sort of the way you grew up, you were kind of. It's not like you had your brother was like next to you the whole way. Like you guys grew up through school and stuff. So you had some degree of onlyness, right? Like during your. So for me, I mean, that's what I always say. I'm like, well, because people will say that. They're like, oh, you got to go with a buddy. You got to do this, whatever. And of course, from my perspective, I'm like, okay, well, like I'm an only child. So like, why in the world would you need anybody in your life? And why in the world would you share anything? That's also another thing.
I 100% agree.
So only child beach, right? And so it's funny because I think there are a lot of things in my life that I love doing with Gracie. And I would say about 50% of them I love doing with Gracie after I've already done them myself. And then I can like kind of summarize the highlights for her and show them. But then the other part I love doing for the first time with her, right? So it's like having like a partner, to do it like you were saying.
Yeah.
And I wonder if like what percentage of guys come over to Thailand and they're like, oh man, I totally should have come over with a wingman, Was that sort of the scenario with you guys? Yeah, okay.
Well, it was, for me, again, I didn't know Brian as much as I know him now. I mean, I knew him pretty well, and we shared some stories. And, of course, we're going through our, I guess, midlife divorce crisis, right? We're sharing our stories. And I think, honestly, I'm going to credit this guy. He was more I laid off his back. In other words, he's 10 years younger than me, and I'm kind of acting like I know what's going on. I've never been there, but I'm saying, this is the app I use to meet a girl or whatever, because my intention in 2019 is much different than it is now.
Oh my God, right.
Yeah, I'm going there. I'm going to meet girls. I'm going to party, and I'm taking this guy I'm going with this guy, Brian, and I don't know how we party. I've never partied with the guy.
Okay.
And the dude's a rock star. And I'm pumping his ego right now. His head's going to be huge.
Yeah, right. But, sideways to go through the door.
But it's deserving because we went to, the Hollywood. Here we go, Mike. So see if you know Hollywood on Bangla Road.
Oh, is it a club?
Beach. That's right. It's the one up the lit stairs. We went in there like
coming from the beach on the left up.
It's on the left. That's correct.
Yeah,
That's it.
I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, and they've redone the stairs. It's awesome. Yeah, anyways, it's a go-go club, but it's more than a go-go. It's a dance club with the girls, the lights. Yeah. It's a disco. So we go in like 6, 7 o'clock. It's dead. We're like, okay, we play some pool.
PM, yeah.
Again, it's our first time here. 7 o'clock.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Dude, we closed the place down at 4 a.m, and it was
good
packed.
For you. Wow.
And I would have just gotten a beer or two, met some girls, maybe played some pool. Brian gets the VIP table service. So now all of a sudden we're rock stars.
What does that cost there? Like 10, 15,000
We were bouncers. We had bouncers there.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how much he paid because I never paid the guy. He actually paid it. Thanks, Brian. So I think he bought a bottle of, and if he's still on, he can tell us how much he paid. But it wasn't super expensive. But he ended up buying 2 bottles of Jack, or big bottles of Jack Daniels.
Mm-hmm. Those are expensive over here, yeah.
Yeah, we made drinks and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty wasted. I'm pretty gone. And I know you're sober now and all that stuff, so hopefully I'm not pumping any doors out there. But the crazy part is I'm not a drinker, really. And here I am, a couple of drinks in, and I'm dancing with the girls and all that stuff. And now I'm on the little stage with our bouncers in front of us. I look at this Thai girl, didn't care what she looked like. And by the way, she's like a 2.
Oh,
I wave at her, and I wave at her with my hand. And I wave her to come on up. And she looks at me and points at me and goes, "What, me?" And I go, "Yes, you." And the bouncer, this is the funniest thing, looks at us and goes, "Are you sure?" It was awesome.
Sure, you drunk white dude.
She came up, and we had the greatest time. So we had a couple of Thai girls. He met a Russian girl, and we're just having a party. Yeah, what is it with the Russian girls? Whatever. It doesn't matter. He likes it, but we're having a crazy party. And, there is an unedited version, Christy.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say, great. Yeah, Christy. Yeah, nice.
How can we put that out there? Because it is funny. And, but you know what? We need to give a shout out real quick because we got some studio money.
Joe, I love you so much, dude. Thank you so much. So yeah, $5 to Robbie and $5 to me. Seriously, Joe. Okay, yeah, it's only $5 kind of thing, but no, seriously, it's $5, dude. That's $10. That's giant. It's 150 baht. Okay, and that's literally half. Oh, dude, yeah, we absolutely have to do this. Hold on. Let me make sure that this, broadcasts way through. Okay,
there you go.
Boom. Boom.
Face slap. There we go.
$5. Yeah, no, you got to remember, right? So, a laborer, they're going to make 350, 300 to 350 baht a day. So that's a whole day of work that we can get out of a Thai person. More importantly, it's money that we can pay a Thai person, which is really awesome. I don't expect any Thai person to work for us for free.
You know what? We haven't even talked about that yet. Maybe we should get into that here. Real quick here, Brian just commented. He says 3,000 baht, and for the bottle.
What?
And so, dude, it was.
Okay, hold on. So, Brian. So wait. So bottle service in Hollywood is what? That's the physical area. I get that. But what do you get? You don't get 2 bottles of Jack for 3,000 baht.
It's one.
Bro.
I know it's one because you had to order another one.
That would have been friggin' spectacular.
But we took up 2 tables. We had these girls, I don't remember them all, but we also had hookah. It's the first time I ever did hookah, by the way.
Yeah, and I love hookah.
When you're doing it with Jack and you're doing it with crazy girls, and I had another Thai girl up there, and it's just crazy time, and we're slapping booties everywhere. I mean, it was a good time. I gotta be honest with you, and it was our celebration because it was a bucket list thing of mine. I went scuba diving.
Oh,
and
right.
I got
too,
and that was my bucket list. In my opinion, it was a party for me, even though it was for him too. But anyways.
Yeah, and that's actually a really interesting discussion. Actually, I can tell some stories about that. But Vegas, you're gonna get a bottle of champagne for like $5,000. So the best nightclub, one of them, it's certainly in the world, not including Ibiza and that sort of thing, but is XS over in the Wynn Encore.
Oh yeah. I'm very familiar with the Wynn Casino. I stayed at the one across the way, not the Encore, but the first one.
Wynn. There's Wynn and then Encore, right? So Wynn was the first one, yeah. So the XS nightclub over there, they do $25 million a month. And we would have, I would be there for like basically tech conventions, IT conventions, and these companies would just be spending. And bottles, so a booth thingy, right, where you have the ropes and everything. They come over like with the sparklers hanging, $25,000. And what's funny, right, is that I would be, because I was the president of this IT organization, so I'm there, and they would be like talking to me, like, okay, leader, like, what do you want to do? Anything you want, right? And I'm like, okay, so you guys have like Diet Coke, right? And they're like, yeah. Like, do you want, like, vodka and Red Bull was really popular at the time, right? That was like the thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, if you have like Diet Red Bull, or they don't call it sugar-free Red Bull, it has to be said that way for some reason. But the problem, 2 or 3 of those a night, and I'm just like, right? And so and everyone's just getting completely wasted. I mean, it was crazy, the cost. And to your point, Brian, I tried to basically duplicate what I tried to do in Pattaya when I first went to Pattaya, and I was still getting the Pattaya out of my system. I tried to duplicate that in Las Vegas one night. And I was $2,300 in, and this is just as an individual, right? And I'm at like, oh God, what is it? It's 3 levels. I want to say Hustler Club, is that right? I can't remember what the name of it is. Anyway, so it's 3 levels, stages. People are dancing and stuff, and then they got back rooms, and they got hookah. Hookah was like $100. It was friggin' ridiculous. And but it was just, I mean, impossible, and nowhere near the fun that you can have there. And I totally agree. And it's cool that you did that, especially in Patong, because, I mean, again, that's sort of, I mean, that and like walking straight in Pattaya, I mean, it's almost like the Disneyland of red light districts, right? It's like the soy cowboy of, it's the bucket list, like you said. But that's pretty cool, dude. So, okay, but Brian said as soon as possible, but then I think he also mentioned April, right? Is that what did he say one way? April 6th. Guys, one way. Oh, that's Brent. I'm sorry. That's Brent. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming by. It's good to see you. I'm psyched that you're coming. I got a bunch of you guys in my calendar that are coming out here. So please stay in touch, and we definitely have to get together. And it doesn't
cost anything. That's the other thing, guys. So if you want to hang out with us, learn about stuff, I've seen some other YouTubers and guys charge just to give this kind of suggestions and advice. And you know what? We're not here for that. We're here to, we want the right people in Thailand, honestly.
Yeah,
we
right,
really
exactly.
Do. Yeah, if you're a complainer, don't come. If there's somebody going to complain.
I mean, then that's true. Don't, if you're going to bring yourself with you, come over here with an open mind that you want to have some money.
Yeah, and be open. Yeah, be super open to a different world, because for me, again, I took that buddy with me my first trip, and now, man, I don't. And if he didn't come, I still would have come. I just would have been a different experience. So,
but the second time you came by yourself, right?
So second time, nope. Second time because I had to wait because of COVID, because of the situation, right?
So COVID was 2020. So you came back in 2021.
Yep, with Brian.
Okay.
He came with me. And then I ended up staying, over a month or 2 after the fact on both trips.
Okay.
So I've never done just a 3 weeks and out or 2 weeks and out. So last time he came, he did the same thing. He overstayed his visa by almost 30 days. So, yeah. And then, the fine is 500 baht per day, and it adds up. So
it is, in other words, did he have to pay 15,000 baht to bail, to exit?
Yes, because I was overstayed my visa, and I had to pay 10. So, and I know he overstayed a little bit longer than me.
Well, I mean, again, it's better than getting a a black mark. I mean, they write it down, but they're not going to blacklist you. Thank goodness.
Yeah. It was nerve wracking. So I don't encourage anybody to overstay their visa, but
no, it's not wise. No.
Yeah, and if for some reason you do, and then you just gotta be okay and know they're not going to put you in jail. Yeah, they're not going to put you in jail. They're not going to arrest you.
That's an interesting sort of Thai way behavior learning moment, because if you're like sincerely, truly apologetic, you'd be amazed at how far that goes with Thais. Yeah. Because it's sort of their default. I mean, if you've ever watched the news regularly, right, and you see these guys that arguably, get caught doing heinous crimes, like they murder somebody or they kill somebody, like second degree, right, like not intent, but it's like manslaughter or something. But then they come out in the news and they apologize. Everyone's like, oh yeah. I mean, they're going to get punished. Don't get me wrong. They're just like slap them on the wrist. But they're just like, oh no, my God, I'm so sorry. It's very interesting to watch it relative to how the bad people in the United States example for it. But Roof Pizza, I wanted to say hello. He's one of your buddies, man. He was on
back.
Your channel early on. Yeah, and good to see him back. 12 people watching. Thank you guys so much, because in the past we've been we've been starting out like really slow or something, and today like we just went right up to 10. So I'm really excited. And if you guys don't know, obviously, so one of the things that we talk about, we're the spot.fm, right? So the spot.fm, the Spot Thailand, you can absolutely listen to us there right now. The spot.fm, just hit that, throw that in the browser. But also, if you've watched me or know me at all, then you know that there's bkk.fm. That's also part of the Spot Thailand. It's also part of our brand. So bkk.fm, if you want to listen to our stream there. If you also fancy some rock and roll music, there's the logo up there. Thank you, Robbie. But then definitely Facebook.com/the Spot Thailand. That'll allow you guys to like keep up on what we're doing, and it'll allow you to keep up on our DJs that we have available and that sort of thing. Updates on potential radio stations that we may be broadcasting on. That'll be very exciting. Coming here in the next few months. I'm very excited for that, as you guys might guess. But then also Walking in My Shoes Thailand, which is this rock star over here, and then livemyassoff.com. You want to check that out, youtube.com/@the Spot Thailand. So, and that's probably the biggest thing you could do. Yes, we love the $5, don't get me wrong, but youtube.com/@the Spot Thailand. Please subscribe. We're dying to get over 1,000 subs. And the other thing too is, if you guys don't know, right, the way it works is that in YouTube you get over 1,000 subscribers and you get over 4,000 watch hours. Well, just wait until around end of March, early April, and you'll realize, oh my God, these guys are going to get 4,000 watch hours or bust. We have got big plans for like early April into the big water festival Songkran stuff in April, as far as getting those 4,000 watch hours. So, yeah, I just wanted to say a big shout out. I mean, I'm really excited about what we're doing. I know you're excited. I'm excited to be working with Robbie, and this has been just so much awesome that is happening. To that point, though, obviously I'm there, and then you're on this other screen, so you're now in California. And again, as we joked around earlier, you're basically on vacation in California.
Yeah.
But one of the things that you talked about is when you first came over here and the things you did and everything, and I would argue that that's pretty common. What I think is not so common is what you're doing right now, because for me, it was like, come over here, vacation, come over here to Thailand, vacation, come over here to Thailand, vacation, finally say, screw this, I'm not going on vacation, I'm leaving the U.S. and I'm coming to Thailand permanently. Whereas you are on sort of these like 2-month buckets of business type pleasure thingy, and you're closing down, or sorry, I shouldn't say that. You're changing how your U.S. business does business. And that's why one of the reasons you're back in California now. So I'd like you to sort of share that, because I think a lot of guys are like, oh, shit, I got to wait till I got all my ducks in a row to come to Thailand. Yeah. And it's like, no, you can have ducks in multiple places. So share us a little bit about your flight back, which I know was imperfect, but share us a little bit about the flight back there. And basically now you are commuting back to California every 2 months. Let's hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I had to come to grips that what I am is a digital nomad, and I've hated that title. I've always hated the title digital nomad because, first of all, I'm not 22 years old. I'm in my 50s.
Living in Chiang Mai, working at a coffee shop.
Exactly. And I'm in my 50s.
Drop shipping.
And is there such thing as a digital nomad in their 50s? It's kind of like, is there a gamer in their 50s? Guys who play video games.
Yeah.
So bottom line is I am a digital nomad and I travel from country to country. I will be back in the Philippines. I was supposed to go a couple weeks ago, didn't make it. But so Chiang Mai and California being my two home bases, with Bangkok being, in my opinion, my home. That's where I'll spend the holidays with. I have a girlfriend there. And here in California, I have business here and in the Philippines. So going back and forth is a normal thing for me right now. As the spot continues to grow, we have a huge vision board we're designing.
Effectively,
one of the things, as Mike alluded to, is the potential of an actual transmitter, which we're super stoked about. And we're not telling too much details yet. We've given enough. A lot of you guys already know. But that's in the works. And once that becomes more finalized, my shift over to being in Thailand, Pattaya, will be more often. So right now it's every 2 months or so. I'm back and forth, 6 months in the States, 6 months out of state. And and it's been awesome. I love the lifestyle. I actually really enjoy it. I'm not a fan of airplanes, but I love what it does. So
I like the results, right?
I like the end result. A perfect example is I'm in Thailand, Bangkok, and I took a bus to Chiang Mai, which typically is an hour and 5-minute flight, and I took 10 and a half hours to drive by bus. So you can see I really like it.
No, but let's clarify this. It wasn't a freaking school bus. This was
it was a luxury bus. Yeah, I did a
two
video.
rows on one side, one row on the other, flat screen TV in every chair.
Luxury bus.
Concierge, right? I mean, you had
I got a stewardess walking up and down the bus saying, "Here, want some water?" As the bus is shaking. As the bus, it was great, and she was a good-looking gal to be serving us. Was awesome. So that's
nice,
cool.
Dude.
So, but the point is, I don't like flying a whole bunch, but I have to do it. And being a digital nomad, it is possible. I'm in my 50s, so you can make money in and out of Thailand. I do have a retirement visa, which I will be adjusting as the spot grows. That's the goal. So I'll adjust that to a work permit or whatever it needs to be done, making sure we're all legal.
B visa.
So on the flight, I hate flying, guys. So I flew back home or back to my California home, and it was rickety, rockety, shakety, bakety. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
It was just, it makes me nervous. And I fly business class. I mean, I know you can call it what you want. I have
you
to
lay
lay
flat?
down.
You're lay flat.
Yeah,
right?
I'm laying
that's the
flat.
beauty. That's the way to go.
I got to turn up my music all the way or whatever I'm watching. And it's great service. I really like it. The price was right. How I do it, I'll just explain real quick, is I book an economy fare on United. And then after it's booked, I do the upgrade. And I'm getting it about 50% of the time.
And while you say that, you're bidding on an upgrade, right?
Yeah, in other words, you pay the $600 is what I pay.
Is it available?
Right, and then towards the last week of when it becomes the flight time, they'll notify you, say you got it, you win. So,
meaning you could say, well, I'll pay you $300 for it, right? Does it give you that option?
No, you pay the $600. However,
if it's unavailable.
If it's the last seat, it's going to go up. So in other words, let's say I didn't book and I wait till 24 hours before booking. Well, it's no longer going to be $600. It's going to be $900. Or vice versa. If there's lots of seats, it'll be $250. So,
So wait, so you basically just say that I'm going to get this seat right before, regardless, right? You don't put it like a ceiling. So in other words, all of a sudden your credit card could get dinged with $1,000?
Nope. It gets dinged the moment you say yes. Whatever the price is. So the moment
you say yes, you say this, whatever the price. So wait, so does that mean if you booked this flight 6 months ahead of time, that would be cheaper?
Could be. So usually on the flight from California to Thailand, it's $600 each way.
Regardless of when
I
you
go
book
ahead
this
and
thing.
do it right away. I do it right away because it's first come, first serve.
Okay.
And I found that out the hard way. But
Yeah.
So
sure.
I usually book it then, and in this case, I got it. Thank goodness. With a shaky flight, I just would have been all over the place. So I was very fortunate.
Totally worth the extra $600. What's your round trip? Because you're booking round trips, right? You don't book one ways.
I book in a round trip, and then I do the upgrade as a one way.
What's the round trip cost you?
Round trip
$1,500?
No. Round trip for this one was $978.
Oh my God, free.
Yeah, and then $600, and that's including taxes and everything. And then I did the insurance, and then it's $600 to upgrade
each way.
Yeah, so it adds another $1,200. So it's a $2,000.
No, but still, dude.
flight.
I mean, think about it. You got a round trip flight. Basically, we can pretty much say, for the sake of argument, in business class, because it's rare that you don't get it. So round trip business class fare, Bangkok.
Yeah.
To Pismo Beach for $2,200. I mean, dude,
yeah,
come on.
and I go.
That means you're flying,
like you said.
You're flying to the other side of the world in business class for $1,000 each way.
Yeah, and then when I'm in the States, when I'm in the States, so I fly into San Francisco.
Yep.
And then I take an hour and 10-minute flight to San Luis Obispo. That's first class. Right.
Yeah.
And that's all they have is first or whatever. And and that flight is almost the most important one, because that's my going home. I want to be the first off the darn plane. I want to be relaxed.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot less expensive than what most people think. Because I get asked all the time, "What'd you pay? What'd you pay?" The most expensive thing you're going to pay if you're on holiday, most likely, is going to be your flight, and that's inexpensive.
But yeah, I mean, well, because Gracie and I, we flew round trip Bangkok to Boston over the summer, and that all in was $2,000. I mean, we got a smoking deal through American Airlines. We booked it, and then was on JAL. I highly recommend Japan Airlines, by the way. Those guys are dynamite. I wanted to take out a quick, I want to say thank you, Andre. Thank you so much for coming by, buddy. I really appreciate it. Robert Mack in Asia, Robert Mack Media. Good to see you as well, sir. Thank you so much for coming by. And of course, Dave, gotta love Thailand. Kap ko makap. I hope your fish are doing well, my friend.
Here's Robert Mack right here.
Ah, there you go. Our model. Look at that. And Robbie, just out of curiosity, where can somebody buy one of those T-shirts?
Well, thanks, Frank.
I'm gonna give you the screen, dude. I gotta hop out for 1 second. I'll be right back. You tell people how they can give us even more.
Yeah, how you can give us even more money. Thanks, Mike, for leaving me right there. But yeah, there's Robert Mack, our fine model here. And yeah, you can buy one of these shirts. Keep in mind, all the proceeds goes towards the new studio. We have limited supply of these shirts. Be sure to go to the website and check it out. Go to thespot.fm. It's not thespot.fm.com. It is just thespot.fm in your URL bar. You'll see it pop up right there, and you can order yours right there. Keep in mind, it is going to take there's a little delay in shipping right now. They should start shipping out within the next week or two. But yeah, there you go. There's our shirts. Hopefully you guys like them. I think they turned out really great. We're going to have some new ones coming out, but this is our first set here. They are going to cost 1,000 baht if you're buying it in Thailand, or about $29 if you're here in the States. We'll ship them out to you, and they're going to be our exclusive first set. And again, the money goes towards the new studio and the new station, so do not forget to pick yours up. So here we go. We got, I thought you were living in a van. I just love that. That's why I had to post that. And yes, I do have a van, and I will be taking some van videos coming up here. So I travel around when I'm here, digital nomad lifestyle.
Remind me what you call that van. Don't you have like a little sexy name for it, a cute name for it there in the office?
Dude, I have so many names for the van. Do I have a picture? I could pull up the van, and you guys could help me give it a name. Let me see if I have a picture.
No. But I thought Christy came up with a name for this van. Like your staff came up with a name for this van, and it was just. I mean, I know the whole like vans are rocking. Don't come.
So it's a Ford Transit. So we call it the Trans Van.
Trans Van, exactly, which works really well because I think you have lady boys that basically wash and wax it for you, don't you? Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah. Here we go. Brian says the Bang Bus. I don't know if there's
Jesus Christ.
So the shag and wagon. So my son.
Check. Okay, yeah.
I know. I called. I got teased. I used to have this blue Caravan, and my son's friend called it the Petavan, which was horrible. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Hey, I had to laugh at that. Come on, guys.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Don't forget to like this video because here's one that I love. Did you see this comment? This is great. Bernadette. Hey guys, Brett in Arkansas. Just enjoy watching. And he goes, dude, I'm sitting here with my 68-year-old aunt, and it's her first podcast. She's an instant fan subscribing now. Good stuff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. Bernadette.
Nice.
You're great.
Hey, how old was
68 years old. And that's young, right?
Young.
I mean, let's face it. Because if you
Thailand.
say, oh, my God, my aunt died at 68, they'd be like, holy crap, that's like way too young. So please keep listening. And tell all your friends, for God's sake, Bernadette. I mean, I want to like hang out with a whole bunch of late 60s broads. That would just be, I mean, because I'll tell you what, you get one of these T-shirts, you are looking 48 like that. That's exactly what we need.
You know what? We are going to have the white ones out, so we will have the T-shirts.
For sure. Yeah,
that's coming out,
really
guys.
Great. I've always liked the name Bernadette. It sounds like it's like a sophisticated but comfortable name. You know what I mean?
It's
like there's
like
these
the name
names
of my aunt, dude.
Is that the name of your aunt? Is Bernadette? Oh wait, it's your aunt.
No, it's not mine, but it's the perfect your aunt's name.
It's an. So do you say aunt or aunt? I say aunt. I don't know why. It's probably because of the level of sophistication, because of course I know so many damn Bernadettes.
And there's so many people calling the wagon the shaggin' wagon.
The shaggin' wagon? Do you have a bumper sticker on it that says something like PETA?
It's called a Ford Folia.
A Ford Fellatio? What's it called?
A Folia. So do you remember VW back in the 60s, early 70s made a Westphalia?
Westphalia with an
A. See, there you go, Robbie the Butcher. Westphalia.
Yeah, exactly,
so this is called Ford Phalia.
It's a phalia.
It has
so
all
it's a
the
phallus.
same.
So you're driving a giant white phallus.
You know what? I think we're going to keep going on from there. Patrick, the sizing.
The comedy writes itself with this one.
Robbie the Butcher on the spot.
That's what I'm talking about. This guy. Folio, Phalia. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
That's just, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I'll be driving it around. Come on, check me out. I'm driving around Pismo Beach and cruising it.
When you drive by, do kids go like this and you like honk the horn and stuff? I mean, this is a very large...
Kids run.
They, even though you have like the ice cream magnets on the side of it, you drive up to the beach.
It looks like the ice cream truck. Who is this bald guy?
I
in
like
the baseball cap.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Are the shirts Western sizing? Great question, Patrick. Yeah,
good
touch
question.
on that.
So the sizing is Thai sizing. So I will be putting the sizing in the next couple of days. The new order form will come out where you can actually buy the shirt. The people who have put the order in now is strictly to hold the shirt.
Okay.
But I will be putting the size with the West American sizing because I wear like a 6X or something like that. 4X.
No, I think you're a 4XL, right? And then mine are the 3XL, right? The one that you got me. Gracie wears an extra small, which is crazy because he's not extra small. I mean, she's tiny, but she's not extra small. Kitty wears a small.
Yeah.
Right? But again, these are like kind of like unisex sizes. In other words, like an extra small women's in the U.S. would be super tiny, right? Because it's almost like a kid size. But yeah, I think so. At the end of the day, and then Robert Mack, right, the one that he bottles for us. Is that a 4XL too? Is that the same size as yours?
No, that's a 6.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And so, can you throw that one up there again? Hold on, where is it? Because I want to see like where the shoulders fall for him. You. I mean, because it's a little big, a little baggy on the side there. But yeah, I mean, the shoulders are pretty good. They're right off his shoulder.
Yeah, so that's a 6,
so anyway.
And that's the biggest it goes, by the way. This is the largest. So
yeah.
Don't mean to roll Robert Mack under the bus, but he is kind of a big deal.
Robert Mack's amazing, and I really want to, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, Robert is the first person to actually buy one of those shirts. You were doing right? Well, absolutely. But you were live broadcast at the Wombat and Kiwi Bar there in Jomtien, right? Robert walks up, gives you 1,000 baht.
Yeah,
Right?
that was our price. That's how I made it right there. I think we'll just do 1,000.
I know, because both you and I are like, what are we going to charge for these? Robert's like 1,000 baht. We're like, there you go.
There you go. And you know who else needs a shirt, Mike? I mean, just so you know, just because we don't want to forget our loyal fans.
Do you even remember? You don't even remember. You still don't remember her name, do you?
I don't even know her name.
Ratana.
Ratana, the woman with the big hands.
And big feet.
And
yeah,
big
she could like
feet.
absolutely
and she's
water
cool,
ski.
and I'm hoping we're going to have her as a guest, right? Is that what we're trying to schedule?
Well, so, and as much as we joke around about her and stuff, so Robbie and I, we met with her, right? And so, if you guys want to know a little bit of backstory, so the reason there's that picture is Robbie and I, we're sitting around Bangkok one day, and we're like, you know what, we should, wild hair, we should do a Ladyboy live, meaning we should do a live stream at a Ladyboy bar.
Yeah.
So we find one like on Google, and then we go over there, and then we're like, well, what are we going to do for a thumbnail? So naturally, we're like, well, if we walk near Nana Plaza, what's the likelihood that we'll find a ladyboy and we can take a photo with it, right? So we walk down Sukhumvit, and there's her right there. And I look over, and I'm like, okay, first of all, your teeth are freaking perfect. And she's actually quite photogenic. So we take this photo, and she was like hilarious and stuff. We joked around about her, and we said, hey, or joked around with her, said, hey, would you like to can we interview you? She said, no, because I don't want my family to see me on live YouTube, that sort of thing. I said, look, we've got a podcast. She says, no. So a few weeks go by, whatever. And then we're cruising along, and we find out this is like now probably a week or two ago. And Robbie and I are like, you know what? I tell you what, let's see if she wants to do an interview. So Robbie and I sit down with her at some coffee shop over there near Nana at the Hyatt. And we must have talked to her for at least an hour, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was very entertaining.
Very entertaining, and told us a story that I think a lot of guys are going to want to hear, because she's like, look, she works in a massage place, okay, let's be clear. But she doesn't particularly like it, that's for sure. And the neat thing is that both of you and I were like, look, we'd like to interview you on the air, and yeah, it'll be, entertaining and funny, but we're not going to talk about sex. We're not going to talk about friggin' red light districts and all that. She goes, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Because it was only, what did she say? I think a year and a half ago, where she was finally like, look, I need some friggin' money from my family.
Yeah, it's
right.
cool.
So I'm going to do this. I don't particularly like doing it, but I'm going to do it, because before this, she owned her own salon, right? And she cuts hair, and that's sort of her big deal. But it was really interesting to listen to her talk about her life, and I would argue that a lot of she told you a sob story. And I suppose one could label it that way. But at the end of the day, I mean, she's had a life where she's had challenges like we all have. And she's come out of it. And quite frankly, it's, up until pretty much 2021, she was a hustler. She was a worker. She wasn't a friggin' working girl.
She was still a hustler.
Absolutely.
And she's not hustling, hey, come be with me. I mean, she's working her salon, and we had a normal coffee. I mean, we're talking, it was, I want to say noon, and we're just hanging out like normal people at a Starbucks. I think it was Starbucks or something like that. And it was a great time, and I mean, just normal people, except she had a great rack. But anyways.
Well, there's that, but man-made, right? But I think here's the reason I think it's a really interesting topic is because as much as we joke around about them, and the guys will be like, but how many times have you, first of all, how many like incorrect statements have your buddies made before you've come over to Thailand or after you've come back, right? They've been like, oh my God, dude, this one time, first time I've ever going, this guy, Scott, never been here before. He's watched YouTube videos, says to me, Mike, when you go over there, watch out for the ladyboys. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? What do you think they're going to do, attack me? Yeah. And it's like, but it was cool because remember we were talking, we were sitting there, we're like, we got to interview a ladyboy because guys will like it and it'll be cool and it'll be interesting. And what are we going to ask them and everything? But I mean, she's such a regular person, and her English was freaking decent.
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good because she could like make jokes, right? Like she understood sarcasm. And,
she did. She definitely understood because I think we threw a couple ladyboy at least I do, just because I can't help myself.
Of course. But. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, whatever. But it's neat because, I'd like for us to interview some that are like, I mean, they're pretty articulate. And again, I'm generalizing like a mother right now, but it's just like, I love that one, Brian. That's pretty good. The transgender fender bender. Do you recall if she referred to herself as transgender? I think she referred to herself as ladyboy most of the time, right? Was that correct?
Yeah, she was very firm. I am lady boy.
Yeah.
And I'm woman. And she knows she's not a bio woman, but she did say woman. She never felt any different. And she was just given different parts. And she really said it like that.
I forgot about that. Happy New Year, Steve. Thank you so much. Steve and I went to high school together. It was amazing. And remember, I forgot about that. One of the things that she was so excited about is that because she's Thai Cambodian, right?
Yeah, and she loves Thailand.
She loves Thailand.
Because I remember we asked her, "Do you want to come to America?" And she's like, "Why?" I mean, at least I think it was her. She's the one who said,
but remember what she said? Because where would you want to go? And remember what she said in the U.S.
Disneyland,
Chicago.
She
wanted to go to
Chicago
because there was this guy that she fell in love with, right?
Yes.
And they couldn't stay together, and then he died, but he was from Chicago. Because I'm like, okay, all the places in the United States, like, where do you want to go? You know, people you think they're gonna like Kitty, right? Oh, I want to go to Disneyland. I want to go to California because people think that California means Hollywood, and or they want to go, somewhere. And she goes, yeah, Chicago, and I'm like. Because of the great winners? Like, why do you... And she tells us this story about how she fell in love with this guy. He was from Chicago. She'd like to go to Chicago. But I thought one of the neatest things, to your point of the whole, like, she's got different plumbing than the rest of us, is that she was excited that I think in Cambodia now, she can get an ID that says she's a girl.
Yeah.
Because she can't do that in Thailand. In Thailand, she has to have an ID that says she's male. But yeah, I think that's, and in fact, I think it's her passport. I think she can change her passport now, but I can't remember. Anyway, she's fascinating. And as much as we joke around about her, I hope that we continuously put that picture up there and we actually get her on
it's her
a live
favorite
interview.
Picture. I mean, MetTech loves it. Look at this. MetTech's at the gym right now and he's embarrassed.
Thanks, MetTech. Well, but MetTech's amazing, right? First of all, he's a fantastic guy. And okay, this blew me away.
We're happy about that. That's fine.
I love Ladyboys. I think MetTech was amazing because I meet this guy, and one of the first things, I don't even know, it might have been the first thing he says to me when we meet each other face to face. He goes, they say you're not supposed to meet your heroes. And I was just blown away totally. I mean, you want to talk about humbled. I was like, come on, man. We're the same person. I just talk louder in front of a microphone than he does. But he has been one of the more supportive, most probably, like top 10 most supportive guys since I came over here, started doing live streams kind of thing. And to that point, I think the reason I bring this up is you were talking about meeting a subscriber, right? Yeah. Recently, I think, and you were down. Was it the lunch bunch thing that you were with, or was it what was the scenario where you ended up working, or not working, but talking with a subscriber?
Definitely the lunch bunch, which is a Tuesday, Friday group. But I've met with several. They ping me on Robbie. There we go. Email me, Robbie at the spot.
Absolutely. There you go.
Yeah, Robbie at the spot.fm. There you go. Send me a message. And if I'm in Thailand and when I'm in Thailand, I will be more than happy to meet up with you. I don't know, Mike's is the same way. And so, yeah, you guys definitely be sure to tune in to thespot.fm. You can listen to us right now if you're driving in a car or working out at the gym like MetTech is. Just tune into thespot.fm. And you don't even have to see the pictures we're posting. We're just having a good time here talking with you guys. And again, you can order your shirts, and they do come in normal human sizes. Fits a 41 chest.
Yeah, that was who said that? Andre?
Yeah, Andre.
Yeah, so what size chest do you... I don't know am I a 4? I'm trying to think about jacket size. I think I'm a 42.
Dude, I just think of bra sizes. I mean...
what size bra do you wear? Are you like a 42C?
I think I'm like a C
you're more of a B cup, I think.
Yeah. I'm a B cup kind of
Expat
guy.
Paul, that's new to me. Is he from your channel? Do you know Expat Paul?
Yeah, come on, Paul.
Do you?
Good to see you.
I don't know Expat Paul. Good to see you, man. Thank you a lot for coming by. So hold on. So Bernadette asks us this. She wants to buy 2 shirts. How do we do it? I think the easiest way, right, is to go to the spot.fm. Go to the website, spot.fm. And at the top, Bernadette, you're going to see a shop swag button. If you click on that, then what that's going to do is that's going to bring you to our shop, and you're going to see the shirt there sort of come in vision. Just throw your name and information in there. If you don't have a line ID, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if we can get a hold of you via email, Bernadette, then that would be great, and we can definitely get you a shirt. So yeah, the spot.fm. And then just click on Shop Swag at the top there. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, and there's going to be some stickers up for sale really soon here. We're actually having a couple of more shirts designed right now. So there will be, this will be the only time we run this first edition shirt. So if you want this special edition, get it. But there will be some new ones coming out with some cool designs and some amazeballs stuff happening.
And again, to be fair, what you're talking about and what we're talking, especially to Bernadette, as I assume Bernadette's in the United States, is you're talking about people signing up to pre-order shirts that will be available and be able to ship in the United States, right?
Yes. So these ones are available in the United States now. Now, if we run out and we'll bring more. It just takes time because we're bringing them straight from Thailand.
Right.
And then when I make the new order, when the new shirts come out, they'll look different. They'll be completely different. Then you can buy them and they ship within a week. But those aren't finished yet. And they'll look completely different. But this is our first batch. Again, we're just trying to raise money for our studio and more exciting things to come for sure.
Now, you guys, and to answer your question, Joe, the short answer is once Robbie gets them available, and so you'll get an email. I see those emails when they come in, by the way, Joe, so thank you so much. I think Joe is the first person actually to fill out the form there. So my friend. So as long as you sort of get on the list, Bernadette,
get on the list
to do that,
and you don't have to pay any money to get on the list because you will get that email. And there'll be a timed email, so it's basically 24 hours to secure your payment, and that's how it will work.
What do you remind me the cost? Because I know in the United States it's gonna be different. Because there's gonna be a little bit of shipping, of course.
Yeah, it'll be $29 United States, and the shipping is what we're working out now. So again, this is our first time doing this. We're not trying to open up an e-commerce store. This is strictly going to be our broadcasting. And we might sell some stickers and shirts and giveaway shirts and giveaway stickers. It's just something if you guys can continue to support us. Again, we prefer you just to subscribe and like our page. That's awesome.
That would be very helpful, yeah.
Yep. But for those of you who want to support us in that way, we've gotten tons of smoothies. And
Indeed, yeah. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Christy. Thanks to all of you guys. We really appreciate you guys. And it's happening. And a lot of people listen to this channel, not only on YouTube or on our channels, but by the spot.fm. We're getting lots of video out or lots of time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And again, we're trying to get to the 4,000 hours, but we're not so much worried about that. We're not worried about anything, but we're focused on is basically getting the 1,000 subs on YouTube. That'll be really cool. But don't forget, we do have a Facebook page. And the neat thing about our Facebook page is we post on there, I believe, what's the schedule, Robbie? 3 or 4 times a week? Something like that, right?
Almost every day. Something.
Is it almost every day now? Okay.
Yes, it should be just about every day. But we're, the focus is we're everywhere you can reach us. Social media.
Yeah,
YouTube,
everywhere on the socials.
But really, we want you to listen to us right from the broadcast. There's music 24/7. Check out the music. It's awesome. If you've listened to Kiss FM here in California, it's a similar style. Is that right, Mike? Can you?
Yeah, absolutely. So
that?
I got, I've been in radio. Well, so now that I'm 50, I've been radio 40 years now. I started when I was 14, and my mom had to drive me to the station because I had a broadcast license, but I didn't have a driver's license. And so I've been doing it a while now. So I've made friends everywhere, which is I'm grateful for. It's a small fraternity, believe it or not, the whole radio sort of production and broadcasting industry. So I got a bunch of buddies that are in Los Angeles, and so one of them definitely has worked at Kiss FM, KIIS 102.7. I have buddies that I worked with in San Diego. They're helping us with what's called the imaging, which is basically those things that you guys hear in the radio between the songs that kind of tell you about the radio station. They sort of accentuate the energy of the station, and they're helping me with that. And so naturally, I look to the best stations, the most popular stations, the most professional stations in the United States. Kiss FM, as Robbie mentioned, in Los Angeles is one of those. That's Market 2. And then the other one is Z100 in New York, Market 1. Q105 down in Florida, places like that. So we're really trying to bring sort of, because one of the things that I realized is that expats like to go on vacation and they like to sort of immerse themselves in that local culture, but they also like a little bit of back home. So yeah, you'll come to Thailand and you'll eat street food, but every now and then you want a burger and you want some pizza, right? So
well, that's why we have Eat Out Patio.
And speaking of which, I'm glad. Nice transition, guy. That was absolutely excellent. Boom.
Am I becoming a radio guy now? Wow.
You are, dude. I mean, that is what we call a absolute kick-ass skadoosh segue. No, that was actually really cool. And to your point, so Eating Out Pattaya, he likes to call his station Eat Out Pattaya. Listen to me, station. His YouTube channel. Ryan, thank you for coming by, buddy. And thank you for offering for some assistance on your shipping in the United States. Now, I know if you guys don't know, one of the ways that radio generates revenue is through commercials. And trust me, I'm not designing a radio station so that like you'll hear a song and then you'll have to sit through 30 minutes of commercials or even 3 minutes, quite frankly, because that's annoying, right? But what we do is we have people that patronize the station, and basically we like to patronize their products. So one of the things that I definitely want to get you guys connected with is Eat Out Pattaya. Ryan is the guy that makes these videos about restaurants and eating out in Pattaya. Shocker. YouTube.com/@eatoutpattaya. And definitely check him out because he's a totally cool
and they're
cool
2 and
guy.
3 minute videos, and it's
for sure.
all about reviews of a restaurant, and he's showing the restaurant, showing the food, and it's pretty amazing. It's actually pretty cool. It's a good page.
What was his now? And he also attends this lunch bunch thing that you were just talking about, right? What was the last place you guys went to?
I went to a place called Peaky Blinders.
That's right. Yeah. That pretty famous place, actually. Most people
pretty
know
good
where that
place.
is, right?
I really enjoyed it. The desserts are really, in my opinion, the best thing there. Mm-hmm. And everybody's going to have their own opinions and taste. And Ryan pretty much gives his, and he's been spot on. I've been watching his videos, and again, they're only a couple minutes long, so it makes it very easy to watch and enjoyable. And yeah, you can tell by his tone if he liked it. If he didn't like it, he'll have a guest on there. So it's a pretty good channel. So, and then let's talk about this, Mike. So since we're talking about our sponsors, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. No, so absolutely. So John is this great guy. He opens up this place called Pattaya Motorbike Rentals, right? And you think to yourself, okay, so like, I mean, there's motorbike rentals and like where can you do? But the neat thing about him, and one of the things that I think that we should highlight is I'm going to speak with him actually this afternoon. But he's one of our premier advertisers actually at the Spot, and we're going to be definitely telling you about him. But the short answer is for right now. Here's what I want you to walk away with. I want you to walk away with this guy has motorbikes for rent for 100 baht. So just think of Pattaya Motorbike Rentals as the 100 baht motorbike place. He absolutely has ones that are more. I mean, this isn't a bait and switch thing that I'm trying to huck out there. But I do want you to kind of walk away with the thing in your mind that there is the place in Pattaya that's run by a foreigner, run by a Farang, and he provides, motorbikes, insurance and all of that, everything for 100 baht a day. So home of the 100 baht motorbike, PattiaMotorBikeRentals.com. Definitely check him out. And remind me where he is, Robbie. I know he's on 2nd Road in Pattaya, but what's like the cross street?
I couldn't even tell you if I wanted to. It's
trying
too
to
bad,
remember
but he
his
does
location.
have a cool Facebook page.
He does absolutely. So just Facebook.com and just search for Pattaya Motorbike Rentals. Tell John that Robbie and Mike's over here at the Spot told you to come by, and
that's a big point. That will help us. So be sure to tell him that.
Yeah. Tell him, say, hey, dude, I want your 100 baht motorbike. What's going on there? I believe it's a Suzuki 125. I can't remember. I know he's got Honda Clicks, right? You've seen those over there. He's got the very standard Honda Click. I don't know if those are 100 baht a day. Probably not. They're probably like 150, but very reasonable. So anyway, Pattaya Motorbike Rentals and Facebook.com, and also
if you're looking for a good ride, a good time. I mean, who knows who you might pick up? I don't know on a scooter.
Wow. And thank God we highlighted Getty Images because, we have to know that what's the other one? Stock Images or something like that. Absolutely. That's fantastic. Wait, hold on. What's this question that we got from MetTech? How bad are the demonstrations, Noi? The demonstrate, because I mean, so Clemente Andre is how he's in Coronado. He's in Southern California, San Diego, Coronado. He and I used to hang out in. So I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. I didn't know. Are there demonstrations in California, Robbie? I don't even know what's going on.
Not that I know of. I mean, there's a couple of shootings here and there. I mean, come on, it's a normal day in the United States right now.
Yeah, right. I mean, demonstrations now.
You know what? We
weird.
should talk about this without getting political. One of the beautiful things about Thailand, so being over there for the 3 months I was just now over there, you forget stuff that happens here.
Annoying stuff, you mean, I assume, right?
Right. You don't just forget. You don't think about it. You don't want to think about it.
Well, there's that.
I mean, we're talking, I didn't know there are shootings happening all the time here. I didn't know there was a big flood. I mean, I guess here in California, kind of where I'm at, here in Pismo Beach, they had these epic rainstorms that had huge 30-foot potholes, or what do you call it, sinkholes. I mean, where it can swallow cars, and they had to close the 101, which is our main freeway. And I'm sitting back enjoying the sun of Thailand. And I'm not even thinking about stuff. I'm not thinking about what's going on politically. I'm not thinking about... Well, you just don't. I mean, it's not in your face. No, I get it.
I mean, totally. I mean, the political, it's like whatever, dude.
Yeah, it's not in your face at all. You get away from your own home country. You get away from that stuff. And it's not to say that there isn't issues here in Thailand. I mean, certainly there are. But you know what I was seeing every day are Thai girls, Chinese New Year, different stuff happening all over Thailand. That's what I was seeing. Temples. I wasn't even thinking about politics. I don't even know what's going on.
I was going to say, but do you think about it when you're there? I mean, politics is irrelevant to me when I live in the United States. When I lived in the United States, but I mean,
I mean, I think like most Americans, it's in my face. I mean, I'm a social media person. It's in my face. It's in the commercials. It's everywhere you turn. There's some sort of a tragedy or drama. And again, there's drama everywhere. But when you come into a foreign country, you're kind of taken out of that. It's natural. I think it's very natural to be taken out of it. I mean, again, there are protests happening in, right there in Bangkok. I mean, we're right there in the center of the planet, and there's protests going on, and I've walked right past them, right through it.
Yeah, it's funny. When I first came here, I'm trying to think. Let's see. When was that? So that was 2012, and there was stuff happening then. Okay, so there was a coup right towards the end of can you turn that off? Thanks. I have this outlet that I plugged the microwave in, and I plugged the refrigerator in, and then I plugged this monitor in. So every time the fridge cycles on and off, or we use the microwave. Anyway, I got to fix that. I'll figure out a solution to that. But when I came here, I remember, like I said to many of you guys, I stayed at the JW. So I'm down in Soy 3.
I like the way he says that.
The JW. That's how you say it in Texas. The JW. And we come out, the taxi drives out, and we get to Sukhumvit. And there's no cars coming. I'm taking my first ride to Pattaya. There's no cars coming, but the taxi driver's sitting there. And I'm like, oh, so what's going on? And I said, hey, why are we waiting? Like, why can't we just go? And he's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. Well, then all these people in yellow shirts, right, like start walking down the street. And I'm like, what's this? And what was it? It was a protest. Now, the protest was just people basically and they look down and they look into the cab and they're like, oh, foreigner. And they're like, hi. And they walk over. So, so there was a coup and there was stuff happening. But I can tell you that the protests in Thailand, for the most part, are infinitely more tame than those certainly that I've seen in the United States, especially ones that occur in Washington. But yeah, I mean, I would agree with you, Robbie. I mean, I think, again, you come over here to be on vacation, but you and I are also doing business over here, right? So, I mean, you're over here working and you're paying attention to the atmosphere that's around you and everything. But yeah, I mean, I would agree. I think that this affords you the ability to truly be on vacation.
Absolutely.
Even if you're because you still get up in the morning and you work U.S. hours, right? So, I mean.
Somewhat. When I'm over there, yes.
You're
somewhat.
Shielded.
You're just, I mean, like I said last week, I talked about it briefly. You're just kind of one of many people. I mean, there's so many people in Bangkok, and you're so
true, right?
insignificant. You get on that subway or on that BTS, and it's packed. And of course, I'm the tallest one there, and it's cool. But I felt so small being on that BTS system. I felt so insignificant, and it was so freeing that I didn't have a worry in the world.
That's nice.
I had nothing to worry about. I didn't think about politics. Before I left in 2019, we're talking what was big, what was going on. We're talking election. We're talking we had crazy people go presidents and
yeah, exactly.
I mean, and the pressure was just crazy. And who am I? I'm just some guy who goes on Facebook and watches YouTube and
hanging out.
And all my friends want to talk, let's talk about this. It isn't right. We should carry guns and we should have ice cream and we should, whatever it might be.
I agree with the ice cream part.
You know what my mind is thinking? I just want to go back to Thailand.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember we're coming back 2020, right when the situation started. I came back in February and our country shut down March 15th or 16th.
Was it then? Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, what is going on here? And it was a political, can I say this, shit show? Am I going to get a beep on our station?
No, we're fine.
It's a political shit show going on here. And honestly, I was so wanting to get back as fast as possible.
Right.
And that's what Thailand does to you. And I think it does it to most guys and girls that go over there and trying to seek that better life. And again, you guys, I talk about it all the time on my channel.
Yeah,
Go live your best life. Go where you're treated best, because if you're not living. That's kind of like my tagline.
Sure.
But man, I live it. I live that, and that's what I believe in. So, yeah. So here we go. MetTech, Robbie. It's lunar year. Yeah, it's the rabbit.
Is that what it is this year? Yeah. Well, I mean, and again, I know why you say Chinese New Year, because I say the same thing, because I walk down the street and they have signs that say Chinese New Year. So, I mean, all we're doing is repeating it. I know that MetTech is very, like, anti-China.
That's all right.
So I get why I get why he's saying that. But yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you what, now's the time to come to Thailand, because the Chinese, even though they're now allowed to come back, they haven't been coming back as much as they thought they would. I mean, are you hearing the same thing?
Not busloads yet, yeah. It's the year of the cat in Vietnam? Seriously? I thought it was the same animal worldwide when Lunar New Year shows up. I thought it was the same one. Interesting. Whereabouts are you in Saigon? Because I got to tell you, Gracie and I loved it there. We had a great time. We were in you're in District 1 initially when you get there, right? And then I think we were in 7. I can't remember. I thought initially they were concentric rings but that's not the case. There's just different districts. Yeah, it's like blocks. And but we had a great time there. And interestingly enough, we were there when Uber was still the thing here in Southeast Asia, before Grab, basically gobbled them up. And but the great part was we get out of the airport. And I go to the ATM and I take out 7 million dong, which means I had a whole $200. And
I just like the name of their currency, by the way.
Dong, yeah. It's the pronunciation is obviously wrong by me because I don't know Vietnamese. But I got on my app and I chose an Uber, and the guy came and picked us up at the airport and drove us to our hotel. We never even spoke. I didn't know one word in Vietnamese, and I still only know one. Which is come on, which I think means thank you.
Xin chào.
Xin chào. Yeah, what does that mean?
It's a greeting. Just like
hello
Saudi.
kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, it was I can't wait to go back. I'm very excited to go back, actually, when Gracie and I start doing some traveling. Although, to be fair, this year, I think you and I sort of agreed on this. This year is going to be a little bit less traveling, a little bit less vacation, a little bit more focus on work, Bangkok, Pattaya, Chiang Mai, right?
Don't you wish, I do like the way Vietnam has its districts. And in Thailand, I've learned, especially in Bangkok, it's your exits. Like there's Bang Na, and then all I hear people talk about is, what exit are you on the BTS? I'm like, what?
Oh, the BTS stop. Totally.
Yeah, it's all about, okay, I've been to Siam Center. Okay, and then now, I know where they're at. If someone says I'm near Ekamai, which close to where we're at, or if they say I'm near Dong, whatever it is, the airport up north. So I like the district whole ideas. If there's a top district to live in Bangkok, what would it be?
You mean relative to the BTS stop that it's near?
Oh, great. Relative to our listeners wanting to live here, not come and party, because that's an easy one.
Oh, live here?
Yeah.
So I would argue that probably when you say best, I'll assume that you mean like the most luxurious, or do you mean the best deal?
Like Siam or Siam Icon.
Icon, yeah, the mall. So a lot of people would agree that it's Thong Lo. If you see it, you'll pronounce it Tong Lor.
Yep, that's what I did.
Yeah. And that's a very clean, sort of upscale, but not ridiculously overpriced area. So that's a pretty good one. Asok is a real easy one, simply because Terminal 21 is there, although it's starting to be an older mall. Right. Asok's great, too, because you have BTS as well as MRT.
Great massage parlors over there. Come on, guys.
Oh, sure. I mean, there's, and I don't know what you mean by that, but okay. And yeah,
hey, this is what I mean, Mike. I mean, isn't she right there on Asok?
She's at Nana. No, she's at Nana. And but Thong Lo is pretty good. I mean, Ekamai used to be far from the central business district. What's funny is if you're not familiar with sort of the abbreviations over here, a lot of times you will say CBD everywhere, and you'll be like, oh my God, is that like some sort of pot lotion that I rub on myself? It stands for Central Business District, which is effectively an area that Robbie was talking about, which is the Siam area. The reason Siam is sort of a central area is because it is the central sort of exchange of the two BTS lines. And it's also a very central business district, and there's like mall after mall after mall after mall. So that place can be pretty good. It's very, it's almost like a little university town. But yeah, I would say like for the most part, most Westerners coming over, you're going to feel super comfortable if you're in Thong Lo. There was a really good question by Brent. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up there.
Yep,
Best cell phone advice when I land. I have a phone now, have to switch to Thai. Do you have to switch? How to switch to a Thai phone company? Well, the short answer is make sure that your phone is unlocked from the U.S., meaning that the majority of them over there. Yeah, it's a good pro tip. I guess we could double click on pro tips. It's around that time. So what's going to happen is the majority of you're going to have a phone that you're basically paying monthly on, and you're paying your carrier. If you're not one of those people and you bought your phone outright and you own it and it's been unlocked by your carrier, then you can basically just throw any SIM in it. Any phone that works in the United States will have the ability to. Do we want to check out Gracie's outfit right now? Do you want to come over and show them? How much did you pay for that hat? 42 baht. Okay, so she got this amazing hat for 42 baht. And then she's wearing this sexy ass shirt, and you smell wonderful. Okay, maybe not. Oh yeah, right.
Oh, there's the shirt.
Look at the small of my back, gentlemen. Yeah, there we go. Very good. That's an extra small.
Yes, extra small.
Wow, and it's still kind of baggy. That's cool. Are you going out? You look dressed up to go out.
I have a date with Kitty.
You have a date? Okay, fair. You have a date with the 9th floor?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Awesome. That's cool. Right on. Would you like some water? I'll fill those up later, I promise.
So, guys, if you want a shirt, you might not fit into it the same way as she does, but we still have them for you. Potentially, you could.
We do, yeah. Okay, very good. You're bringing Casa Lobo to Kitty. That's good. The other thing, though, is that if you have, and again, and the answer to everything, Brent, is, of course, it depends. If you have T-Mobile as a provider, okay, ignore everything I just said about that. And if you're only come over here to hang out, then simply call up T-Mobile and say, I want the international package that will be good in every country. And it'll be like, okay, yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, it's even cheaper. You can get a monthly rate if you're coming over here and do that.
Yeah,
but yeah, you can pay $10 a day. But you can get that plan, and it covers you in like 140 countries or whatever. You get off a plane, you land, and all of a sudden you've got a minimum of 3G coverage, if not 4G now, on your 5G phone. So there's that. But again, if you're coming over here and you're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go to a 7-Eleven and put a SIM in from over there, it depends, again, what you want to do. If you want to communicate with Thai businesses, it will behoove you to get a Thai SIM and therefore have a Thai cell number. If you're just communicating with like buddies around here, then really all you need, and this goes to one of the pro tips that Robbie gave before, which is what are the apps you need. And as long as you
just a second.
Yeah, and as long as you have Line installed on your phone and you have data. Now, there's people that will come over here and they'll be like, I'm not going to get data. I don't want to worry about it. I'm going to be on vacation. You can absolutely live that way. It's a little bit of a challenge, but I will tell you that there is free Wi-Fi in a lot of places. You don't just like come in and connect to it. Sometimes you got to get a password. It's a little bulky. I would recommend that you get a data plan that's available here. So if you have T-Mobile, don't worry about that. Just get the international version of that, the international plan. If you don't have either of those carriers,
and do it for a month, and it's
exactly just do it for a month.
You're done with it.
Yeah, it's super cheap. But if you have AT&T and Verizon, do not come over here and roam on Verizon. You'll go bankrupt, and it sucks. The customer service is horrible. I hate that there as a carrier. But the other thing, too, is that come over here and buy a phone. Because I can tell you that my 5G phone that's got 2 SIMs in it and 128 gigs of storage and 16 gigs of RAM cost me $125. Okay, so
did you buy it at the airport or did you buy it at a mall or something?
No, good question. I bought it at a mall and I bought it at a banana, and you'll just see it. Banana is how most people, but it's banana anyway. It's a yellow BANANA. Now, you can absolutely get a SIM as you're getting off of the plane, and you will not get ripped off. It'll be the exact same SIM you buy at the airport. You will buy it at 7-Eleven, whatever. And when you're traveling at that time, you're going to have your passport in your hand anyway. You just need to give them your passport. They register for you. You give them like $20 basically, and you get a SIM that, from the U.S. perspective, basically has unlimited data. And you'll have a number. But again, you got to have an unlocked phone. Don't come over here unless you know that you have an unlocked phone thinking you can use it, because I have had that disappointment for a number of people. So that's my little. Did it? Okay, so give us your experience / pro tip on this.
Yeah, I came over on a locked iPhone 13. This is back in, September, just this last September or August, whatever. I only stayed 1 month, and it was still locked. I had to wait 3 months to get it unlocked when you buy a new phone. That's Verizon for you. Don't ask me why. I don't know.
Because they can. Is the short answer.
Usually, like Mike said, I come over, I have my phone in my hand. Right when I exit the plane, there'll be a place for AIS or wherever, and there'll be 10 of them. Don't go to the place with the longest line. It doesn't matter. The prices are all the same.
Yeah, they are.
Just go to the closest one that doesn't have a line. They'll undo your phone, and they'll tell you if it's locked or not. And that's exactly what happened. And I ended up going to 3 different places just to have 3 different people tell me it's locked. So I ended up doing the daily plan. For a couple of days.
With Verizon?
Yeah. So $10 a day. And then I called Verizon and said, please switch me, because I'm there for a month, to the monthly plan. So they charged me the month, which is $100, plus they charged me $10 a day. So my bill is $240 for only 30 days.
Awesome.
On top of its regular charges. So, and it was quite the challenge to explain to the guy when I got back that no, I would only have 1 phone. So there you go.
Yeah. One of you guys asked, do you need to buy a new phone when you get over here? No, not really. At the end of the day, the 4G LTE, and 5G, basically they use a bunch of channels. They're referred to as B channels. And for the most part, the radios that you buy that are effective, that work in the United States, will have one of those B channels, if not 2. That are used over here in Thailand. So you'll be able to get like a 4G LTE experience pretty easily. I do agree with what Ryan said, as far as like, it's the whole Ford versus Chevy, Windows versus Linux, the debate, the emotional attachment to it. Yeah, you can get an eSIM. I don't know what phones take eSIM in the United States. I assume the iPhone is one of those, because it's, the more sort of modern thing. But I mean, even this phone that I bought that's less than a year old, I mean, it's got, you just put 2 SIMs in it. So at the end of the day, as long as your phone has the ability to put other SIMs in it, then you should be like totally fine. And I would not necessarily necessarily recommend buying a new phone. There's really no need for that.
And really, how long are you staying? I mean, if you're staying longer than a month, it might behoove you to get a brand new phone. I mean, like Mike's was saying,
they're free.
Literally dirt cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're staying only a few weeks, like most guys stay 2 to 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I would say
for a holiday. What's cool about getting it in the airport, it's no different in price, and you have it right then and there. So, and I'm going to lead right into a pro tip I gave recently, and Mike's was talking about a little bit. These apps right here are the most essential apps. I usually leave this for those who are wanting to move here, expat here, but really this lineup of apps, which is Line, Grab, Agoda for your booking, Google Translate, and then Bolt. Man, these are essential. Load them up before you come and play with the app a little bit. Check it out. And they're free. It doesn't cost you anything to load them up. Check them out. And so, yeah, that's kind of, I mean, when you get your phone, that is very, very important.
So here's the thing, Brent. I will say this then, if you are coming permanently. First of all, send me and Robbie a message so we can hang out.
Yeah.
But the next thing...
Smoothie.
It's smoothie time, absolutely, yeah. And but if you are coming permanently, then I would say just get a phone when you're over here, because I mean, unless you have like a brand new phone and you want to keep it and you're emotionally attached to it, like a lot of people have iPhones, they seem to be emotionally attached to the ecosystem of that, as well as technically because they can share. Yeah, and that's fine. But there will be some phones that you get in the United States that won't work as well over here, because again, there are different, channels that are used over here that are not used in the United States. What I did, knowing when I was going to move over here more permanently, and I'm assuming you've been here at least once before, Brent, but maybe not, is I bought and you'll see them on Amazon. They're reconditioned phones. They've been sent back, but they have like a 90-day warranty, and you can use it for a whole bunch of time. And if you don't like it, you can always send it back. They're super inexpensive. In other words, the depreciation has already been put in there, like buying a used car off of a new car lot, right? And they will be labeled either global, or there will be a discussion like GSM, like there'll be some discussion, because again, the phones that are designed for the United States don't necessarily have all the radios that they need to be, used internationally. Because why would most people in the United States need to do that? And so if you are coming permanently, then I would recommend when you get over here, just get a brand new phone.
I recommend get a buddy. Have them take you around. And
it's funny.
I can't. You know what?
Yeah.
I can't say that enough. I don't mean for holiday. If you're coming and moving here, to have somebody walk you through the BTS system, to have somebody walk you through the MRT, and Mike's was that guy for me. He walked me down, got my card, the BTS card, now I get on every single, I feel like I know the place.
You're a local now, dude.
To have somebody help you navigate your first couple of days, man, it is like gold. It will save you so much time and stress and headache. And it is, I don't care how many YouTube channels you watch or listen to have a physical person say, follow me here. Yeah. Pull out 1,000 baht. And I think that's exactly what you did. I'm like, we're not spending 1,000 baht on the MRT system. You go, no, just have some money on your card.
Put it in,
Put 1,000 baht. And sure enough, and I've used the heck out of that darn card. So that's what I mean by have a buddy. Call, give us a message. When I'm there, I'll be in Pattaya most of the time the next trip. Mike's is right there in Bangkok. I'm sure we'll be, buy us a smoothie. How about that?
Yeah, indeed. And it was a neat experience, actually, because Robbie was kind of like, he was at the point, he and I had known each other, and we were already starting to talk about doing business together. So we met at a Starbucks, right? And we're just like talking about it. And he's just like, okay, what do I do? And I said, okay, stop. Let's just go do it, right? Because, you and I can talk about. So we literally just walked out and we went over there. And then from there, we went to a soak, went downstairs, went to the MRT, and he got his card there. Because you're going to need, cards like that. And you're right. I didn't really think about it at the time. I just figured, I'm just hanging out with my buddy, But he kept like saying like, dude, this is like, you should do this. We should do this. You should do this. People should do this with other people. And I'm like, you're right. Because, it's... Mariano, who is in the chat regularly, he even says to me, he says, dude, you should tell people how to use the ATMs over there. Now, in my mind, I think to myself, dude, it's a friggin' ATM, right? But that's because I've used it more than twice. And the first time I used it, it was weird and it was different. But then you start using it and you're like, wait a minute, this system is even better. Meaning that every single bank has their own color, okay? So like SCB is purple and Casacorn is green and Krung Thai is yellow and Bangkok Bank is blue. And, you know, and you're like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. And you go up there and you're going to, first thing you do is you push the screen and then you look for language and then you choose English, you know, and all this. And you also know that when you put your card in, because you're probably going to do that, you're not going to be using QR code stuff unless you really get yourself integrated into the system here. You're going to be using your card. You're going to put it in, and it's going to go in really slow, and you're going to be like, oh, this is really weird. And then it comes out, and it comes out this much. Okay, and so you need there you go. And you need to be conscious of the fact that when it comes out that little bit, take it out as soon as you can. Because if you're screwing around and you're looking at girdles and you're looking at all of a sudden, yeah, and then right, and then and it goes back in. And you don't just like call 1-800 Bank of America and be like, yeah, so my card's in the machine. Can you guys get it out? They'll be like, no, it's in a friggin' foreign country, you jackass. So that's the other thing, too. Bring 2 of almost everything. I'm not saying bring 2 passports. I have that, but don't do that. That's a pain in the ass.
And that's right, Ryan. I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So I abuse you guys, and I owe you guys smoothies. So Mike took me around. He was my first experience having somebody really take me around. And I told him the same thing. Man, you could charge for this. I had Ryan do the same thing in Pattaya, but different things from Visa and all that kind of stuff. And by no means am I an old pro like he just said. And I believe everybody's going to have their own experience here. But to have somebody who's been here, done that, I think is really kind of cool. And I appreciate the guys doing that. And this is the reason why we have this show, guys. We have this show for you to not only live through our experiences, our passions and dreams of being in Thailand, but to kind of help you guys out to navigate to get here. And not only get here, to live here and to live that best life. And that's really what it's all about.
You know, if you think about it, I mean, when you and I were like, hey, so let's just do a live stream. So we did that. And I need to actually figure out how many we've done. Because we've probably done like 50 and I don't even know it. Like we're already at a milestone of some kind. But we're like, okay, well, yeah, we did one. It was awesome, right? It's like, well, what are we going to talk about? And so the short answer, I mean, if you read the description that we throw up every week, it's like at the end of the day, coming here for 2 to 3 weeks and just doing that, coming here and staying a little bit longer, and then moving here permanently. Because there are these little tricks, right, that you just sort of do. Like, so for example, I don't even carry my ATM cards. I carry my phone, and this is just like actually a thing that just holds some things inside of it. It's not a card. But I use my QR code, as Robbie does, to buy almost everything. I don't use an ATM card at the ATM. I just scan the ATM because it gives you a QR code, and that's how I log in. I don't type a PIN in any longer. I use my thumbprint on my phone to get into it. And so, I mean, there are some things, it's like, this is not stuff that you're going to do in your first month. This will be like after you've been here 90 days and you've signed a contract and you have a lease and you have a bank account and you have a long stay visa that, you can go into the bank and say, well, I want to do this. I want to add my phone number to my bank. And then there are some kludgy things. I mean, there's some modernization that occurs over here compared to the way we do banking in the United States. But it's also like, yeah, well, you need to add your phone number to your account, but you got to do it at an ATM and then hit the submit button and then get the SMS message and type that in. So, but then once you do it, you don't have to do it ever again. So, I mean, listen to me. I'm really excited about it, actually. So, and I'll tell you what would be really neat is if Brent, you do come over here, Robbie and I are both with you at the same time, because each of us is going to bring our own sort of level of experience and everything. So you get the Robbie version and you get the Mike's version, and then you basically got to pay twice as much on smoothies, but it'll be worth it. God damn it! So I'm looking forward to it, man. That's cool.
As long as we all get to ride a scooter together, I am very happy about that.
You know what they call that, right?
I have no idea what they call this, but I thought this was a great way to kind of wrap up our final thoughts.
The mighty Asian minivan, man. Absolutely. That's true.
If you guys don't know what we're looking at a scooter, a Honda Click or something like that. It has 5 people on it. So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, cardless withdrawal. I mean, it just, you think to yourself, wait a minute. Like, wait, aren't we from like the most modern country? Oh, I guess not. But yeah, no, it's totally the way to go. But
Isn't it crazy how
that's cool though.
We don't have that here yet in the States. I don't get it.
You guys have, listen to me, you guys.
Apple Pay.
Apple Pay and Google Pay, right? Do you do that like at the grocery store? Like, do you do that anywhere?
You don't. I don't think it's popular enough, or it isn't. No, I don't do it. I rarely do it. There's no benefit to doing Apple Pay, in my opinion.
But
Apple Pay is the same thing. Well, it's just
because you carry a card anyway, right?
Well, it's just another card. It's its own separate system. So it's
I thought it's your phone. It's not your phone,
right? But it's through a credit card. You got to sign up through Apple. It's
seriously?
It's not like it's Bangkok Bank, right? Where I have a Bangkok Bank account. I just transfer money over once a month.
Yeah,
and it's just like my Chase ATM. Or I'm surprised Chase doesn't have this. And if they do, it's not marketed well. Where in Thailand, man, this is the way you pay for things.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I see this comment says absolutely April 6th done. I love it. Is booking date?
I'm putting that in my calendar, Brent. And at the end of the day, the easiest thing. Yeah, make sure you just email us, man. Let me throw that up there. Where is... at the end of the day, it's just Mike's at the spot.fm and Robbie at the spot.fm. But definitely shoot us an email, dude, because definitely want to hang out and definitely want to help you. But the cool part is that we also learn, or at least I definitely do when I meet with new people. But that's cool. April 6th. All right, cool. I'm putting you in my you in my calendar, Brent.
And all of you guys listening on Walking in My Shoes Thailand or live my ass off with Mike's. I'm sure I said it wrong, but Mike's will correct me there.
That's fine.
You guys, what we'd like you to do is tune into the spot.fm. Even if you're not listening to this podcast or this YouTube, if you tune in to thespot.fm and click the Listen Now button, you'll hear awesome music, awesome tunes. You'll hear this show live. So we're on the air right now. And being on the air is going to be a thing of reality in a few here. We can't give you the exact date, but it's coming up. But we want you guys to click the like, the subscribe, tune into the spot.fm, and I think we're just about done, Mike.
That'll do it, guys. I want to say thank you so much for coming by. It's awesome. Excuse me. We held like almost 20 of you guys regularly. With that, I want to say make sure to subscribe, like Robbie said, youtube.com/at the Spot Thailand. With that, it's Mike's from livemyassoff.com saying I hope you're living the dream, because if you are not living the dream, you are doing it wrong. And...
this is Robbie from Walking in My Shoes Thailand. Live your best life, because if you're not living. Peace.
See you guys. Ciao.